developed for use in gaseous coal mines, Cardox is a safe, instantaneous, non-explosive rock and concrete breaking system, which is used extensively in civil engineering projects, dimensional stone quarrying, and coal and ore mining worldwide. Cardox tubes use the rapid expansion of liquid carbon dioxide, like that in a fire extinguisher, to produce a powerful heaving force that breaks all types of rock along its natural planes and fissures. Cardox is fully approved by the UK Health and Safety Executive, and as it is not classed by the United Nations as dangerous goods, no permits are required for storage, transportation or usage. Cardox has an impressive track record in a variety of civils applications, including general rock excavation, tunnelling, trenching, underwater excavation and concrete demolition. The fact that Cardox is a non-explosive system means it can be used in sensitive areas where explosives are restricted or totally prohibited. When Scottish Power advised that the electrical distribution network for the whole of the area of Greenock was at maximum load, they were faced with the challenge of constructing a new 1.32 kV substation grid supply point to cater for the growing urban development within the area. The only practicable site was at Spango Valley, alongside the main road into Greenock. The site was located on a shelf of basalt rock in a residential area just metres from the Glasgow to Greenock Railway on one side and a school on the other. The use of explosives was prohibited because of the obvious dangers, as were mechanical means because of the constant vibration and unrelenting noise. So the contractor turned to the Cardox system to break the hard basalt rock. Around 6,000 tonnes of rock was excavated with no disruption to the local community. With the development of the tube restraining device, which automatically anchors Cardox tubes in place during activation, Cardox can now be effectively applied to horizontal applications, such as tunnelling. There could not possibly be a more sensitive area than the centre of Athens, where some of the historic buildings date back hundreds of years. As Cardox does not produce shock waves or damaging vibration, it is ideal for projects such as the metro system in Athens. Here, just 4 tubes were needed in the tunnel face to break out the centre of the tunnel, with a further 4 tubes used to trim the profile of the tunnel. Cardox produces very little overbreak, and so contractors can be assured that the rock is broken to the actual required profile of the tunnel, and not into the surrounding rock strata. As part of the Whitby sewage project, excavations for shafts and tunnels directly in the centre of this busy northern England town posed several environmental concerns. The use of explosives and noisy excavation methods were of course prohibited, so contractors Morris and Amek were charged with the task of finding an effective method of breaking rock that produced little if no vibration, noise and dust. Here's Paul Millington.
We first heard of Cardox from a project on the other side of the country, an Amek project. From then we decided that we may set up a trial, which we did at Lythe Bank in the 16-metre shaft. Obviously, as you can see behind me, we've got a shaft of the depth of 30 metres and the diameter of 6 metres, but we've still got the road traffic, pedestrians, and we've obviously got the residents all in a very close proximity. After the success that we had at Lythe Bank, we decided we would be using it for this particular shaft due to the heavy mudstone. The training that we were actually given from Cardox helped us along very successfully, may I add, to the application, the way we produced the results that were required. The tubes that we used were 1 metre in depth, and we used 2 circular systems. Within that system we were using 2 charges to release the centre and the outer, which cut actually cut a virtual circle round. We didn't have any problems with the use of this piece of material, and again the completion of this shaft shows how successful it actually was. We did actually use as a monitoring tool noise monitors, seismograph monitors, certainly with regards to building vibrations for what we were doing. But with all these in place, we had no reading on the seismograph on the buildings whatsoever, even though they're literally 5 meters away from the shaft itself. Obviously, with explosives, its noise, the vibrations would have been far greater, and again, historical buildings nearby would have been affected. We've used the Cardox in other shafts in other various areas, again with members of the public, pedestrians and residents very close by, again very successful, and I would just like to say that we would like to use it again in the future if we ever had to come up against these kind of problems again.
Cardox is often used in trenching, again especially in sensitive areas or in areas where explosives are restricted. The type of rock encountered in this trench excavation is difficult for conventional braking machines because it absorbs the impact of the hydraulic breaker, and the only other cost-effective method open to the contractor was Cardox. Again here at the Athens metro site, a drainage trench needs to be excavated in the depths of the proposed metro station. Over the past few years, Cardox has developed a growing reputation as a safe, effective tool for sub-sea rock excavation and concrete breaking. Many major civil engineering companies and diving contractors have employed Cardox on a variety of sub-sea projects around the world. Deepening and widening of harbours to accommodate larger ferry berths is an application where Cardox has been used successfully on many occasions. As the divers can remain in the water in close proximity to the working area during activation of Cardox tubes, the system comes into its own when used in trenching excavations for subsea cable laying, pipeline installations and sewage outfall schemes. Other applications include breaking of concrete overspills and reinforced concrete structures. Here, Cardox is being used to demolish a reinforced concrete dolphin on a busy section of the River Thames in central London, just half a mile from the Tower of London in one direction and Canary Wharf in the other. The concrete dolphin is only meters away from new residential apartments. Cardox is also extensively used to demolish concrete, and again its non-explosive qualities make it ideal for sensitive areas, as shown here at British Aerospace and here at the General Electric giant GEC. The fact that Cardox does not produce damaging shock waves means it can be used to break sections of concrete without transmitting its powerful braking force across construction joints to adjacent structures. Here, at the Kaban Dam in eastern Turkey, a project for Turkey Hydroelectric required Cardox to break out 4 channels, each 6 meters wide across the spillways of the dam, to allow aeration tunnels to be constructed without damaging the remaining structure. Steel reinforcement bars of up to 50 mil diameter at 200 mil spacings were exposed so that the steel could be cut by oxyacetylene. In recent years, there's been a growing trend towards restoration and refurbishment of fine buildings and structures. This has led to an increase in the need for quality stone for building and restoration work, not to mention for landscape architecture such as walling, rockeries, patio construction and conservatories. Already, many dimensional stone quarries in the United Kingdom have adopted Cardox in preference to other methods available to extract quality stone at a reasonable cost. As Cardox does not shatter or pulverize the rock, it's ideally suited for extracting large dimensional stone. And with no storage magazine required, quarries are free of all the associated security costs prevalent to explosives. The small and versatile tube recharging unit can be located almost anywhere on site without causing hindrance. And the quarries simply order sets of consumables to replenish the tubes when required. A growing number of underground mines throughout the world are turning to Cardox as the main production method. Those who have changed would not contemplate going back to their previous methods of mining. In Turkey, Cardox is now working in several mines and has brought a number of benefits, including increased production and increased profitability. The mines report that the fine coal produced has been reduced by approximately 20%, and the firm lump coal produced by Cardox is being sold at 3 times the value of the fine coal. The high-grade alloy steel Cardox tube is closed at both ends by screw-in heads, a firing head at one end and a discharge head at the other. The firing head incorporates a filling valve and an electrical initiation system, whilst the discharge head releases the discharge pressure and anchors the tube in place. A chemical energizer known as a safety heater is placed in the firing head end of the tube, and a steel rupture disc placed in the discharge end. The discs vary in thickness to afford a range of rupture pressure from 18,000 psi to 40,000 or 3,000 bar. The firing head and discharge head are then tightened. And the tube is placed on a filling stand and charged with liquid carbon dioxide, just like a fire extinguisher. Holes are drilled into the rock or concrete and the charged Cardox tubes inserted. A connection is made from the tube to a low-tension activator, and on passing an impulse from this to the tube, the safety heater energizes, causing an instantaneous pressure build-up, which, when reaching the yielding pressure of the rupture disc, bursts, releasing a cold, heaving mass of carbon dioxide that expands 600 times its original volume. The rock or concrete is subsequently broken, the whole process taking less than 1 second. The tubes are then recovered, the safety heater and rupture disc replaced, and the tube recharged with liquid carbon dioxide, ready to be used again. If you have a need for any rock excavating or concrete demolition and would like advice and more information, contact us either through your local distributor or direct to Cardox head office at this address.